Well, hey, what's up? I'm your host, Bill, and today we're going to look at some toy cars. These toy cars are miniature. They could be, I don't know, 1/48th scale, maybe 1/32nd scale. Who cares? But I thought they were cool because they had a lot of dust on them when I found them. Some of them even have almost what looks like velour interior. There's so much dust on them, and I'll get to that one here in a minute. But anyway, I dug these cars out of a box the other day. I was gonna eBay them. Got like 5 of them. Oh, 6 of them. One of them needs to be glued back together. But anyway, let's get to it. I'm gonna start off with this one. I'm not really sure what car this is. I think it's some type of Ford. I don't know. Perhaps a Plymouth 60s, mid 60s, late 60s, something like that, 4-door sedan. But what's cool about this little car is all of these doors open. And there's that plush velour interior I was telling you about. Probably can't see it, but trust me, it's fuzzy in there. Anyway, let's see about these other doors. They also open, and they're made out of metal. Got these cool rubber wheels. Sort of see some of the suspension details underneath. Doesn't really work, but anyway, it's a nice car. Rolls really well. Look at that dust on that thing, man. Kind of don't want to clean it in a way because it's more representational of the American way and life as it was back then in the 60s, and somewhat similar now, except back then, if you were a kid, you could ride up in the car like back here, climb up there on some of these cars if they were big enough. The car I grew up in was a 68 Bel Air, and it was blue, 2-door. My brother always got to sit up front in the middle, fucker. And I have to beep that one out. Anyway, but that was alright because I sat up on the rear deck. There was heater vents back there. Well, I don't know if there was or not, but it was just cool. Sun was shining. There was no seatbelts. Popped the hood on this thing. Look at that. Unlike the Bel Air that I grew up in, which had a 307 V8, this one's got like a little straight 6. A 6-banger. Oh shit. Something just fell off this thing. Well, another thing on my list. The trunk doesn't open. That's kind of lame. I was hoping to pop that open and, I don't know, see some, I don't know, what kind of stuff would you see in a trunk of a car like this? I mean, this car definitely says business, but also like I might have a family. It's got this cool black top though, so it's kind of, I don't know, I'd roll this car. It'd be pretty good. Well, let's move on. I'm going to breeze through the rest of these. Here's another one, which I think is a different series and perhaps a different manufacturer. This one's missing the hood emblem, as you can see. And quite frankly, the hood doesn't really come up very far. Like, what the hell? It's like a W. Arr. The doors do open. This car feels overall just a little bit cheaper. Feels like that front tire doesn't roll very well either. Anyway, it says, I think all these are made in China at some point or another, but this one is Franklin Mint. So that friggin' explains it. Mint my ass. Um, Today it's Rubens. Sorry, sorry, Manny, but there was no Rogers at the QFC once again. Here's another one. This one almost kind of feels Franklin minty. This looks to be some type of, I don't know, early 50s, like rounded off luxury. I don't know, this thing feels kind of cheap. I don't really know what it is. Who cares? This model is junk. I'm going to say this is probably a Franklin Mint too. I don't know. I mean, it's an okay model, but it rolls. You know, I would crash it into things and make these two cars like... Moving on. By the way, I think this was meant to be some big type of Woody Caddy or Chevy or something like that. Who knows? Here's another one. This should look familiar. This is a Mustang 65-ish. What's kind of neat about this Mustang is, bam, 289. It's a tiny looking little 289 in there though. It's kind of, you really have to look for it. If you look underneath, it's got nice detail on the chassis though. Well, that gas tank, they don't want that thing to fall off. You have to screw right in the middle of it. The windshield on this one, boom, whoops. I don't know what happened there. Blowout. The doors blew open. Anyway, I think it maybe, probably at one time it was a little more tacked together or something like that. I wouldn't see why they would make this a removable piece, but it is at the moment, and it's kind of cool because it's like dun dun dun. Oh shit, the hood fell off. Well, I guess the whole thing is really meant to go. Oh shit. Oh, there we go. Oh, there you go. Well, maybe it was made to take apart, so you felt like you had two cars in one. Your mom's like, oh, Mom, give me some money so I can buy this Mustang thing. She says, well, what's it do? Well, you can take it apart and like rebuild it. Oh, okay. Here you go. In the same grouping, I think this is also made in China, but I don't know. I can't read where this particular one is from. What? Break out the goggles. I'll tell you where it's from. There we go. It's from... I still can't read it. Anyway, that's pretty cool underside. It's got some good detail to it. This one has the doors. The shield seems to be bolted into this one, so perhaps it's a different brand. Well, anyway, this is one of my favorite cars. It's a 67 Camaro with the Rally Sport package. Could be a Super Sport as well. It looks like that badge does say Super Sport on it. Anyway, 327, I think. It could be 350. 350 maybe it says on there. My first car was a 69 Camaro. It had a 327, but it was not a Rally Sport or a Super Sport. But I thought it was sporty. Wow. And I think with you Brodies, man, those new Brodies around the corner. We streaking. All right, well, that's about it, my friends, for this episode of whatever the title told you it was. I'm your host, Bill, and this has been Looking at Stuff.